All right. He's ready. I'm ready. We're ready. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
You did it, people. You made it. You made it through the last 10 days of life, which means you also made it to another fun filled, exciting, can't wait to see what they say next episode of This is the Future.
Unfortunately.
Bet your sweet ass, you rusty
Mm,
looking truck driver. How were
so
the last
fucking.
couple weeks on the road?
Well, god damn it. Well, first of all, we got to pretend like we didn't do this bit before we start recording, and then now we got to just like make sure people don't know that this was already rehearsed. God damn it.
I
Uh,
changed some of the words.
I changed some of the words. Hey, it's a good bet. You got to keep on doing it, I guess.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
Mm.
Not every, some stuff is planned, folks.
I guess I'm slowly like physically turning into the people that used to like beat me up and yell at me and make fun of me when I was in high school. So
How are your parents? Just kidding.
um, that's a good one. Yeah, I was homeschooled.
Give me your lunch money, but Dad.
But Dad, my money, god damn it. Well, he would say that.
Oh shit.
Speaking of the old bastard, he was in town for a night, and yeah, it's the first time he's ever stayed a night at the house. Lived here for 4 years. Nice that he could grace this house with his presence.
Yeah, how did that go?
It was good. We seem to be in good spirits to one another lately. He goes so he always his brother and his sister both live near Portland, and he
Mhm.
visits them all the time, but he never comes to see me. And he has to basically go through Portland or near Portland to visit both of them. Like one lives in Corvallis, Oregon, and then one lives in Vancouver, Washington. Especially the Vancouver one, he has to like go through Portland basically to go to see his brother. And he never comes by. And I'm like, why don't you just say hi? Stop being weird. So he came over on his way back, and he had like he was hauling like a 10-foot trailer filled with like firewood, and his back of his truck was filled with firewood because that's one of the reasons why he goes to see his brother, who is my uncle, which is that's weird. And then he went, that's one of the reasons because my uncle lives in the fucking woods, so they just cut trees down and to heat their houses. So he came to visit, and I don't know, it's good. It's good to see him.
Right on.
That's, yeah.
I feel like he would like if it wasn't for Google Maps, he might accidentally knock on your door one day and ask for directions. You know, like,
I
oh,
like
you live here. Like, yeah. You drive by my house every month.
I like how you think that he knows how to use Google Maps. He doesn't know how to text. He can't even text. He can't use it. He can't use a phone. He doesn't know how.
Well, how did you know he was coming? Did he send you a letter?
Yeah, it was a carrier pigeon. It's a hillbilly carrier pigeon. But he could hardly even answer the phone.
What?
It's ringing.
Does
He's
it
like,
take two hands?
yeah, it's ringing. He's always like, is that ringing? Someone calling me?
Make it
You
stop.
calling me? Like, that's yeah. Like if you want to get a hold of him, you got to call him like 4 or 5 times just so he'll, you know, pick up.
That's fun. It must be important. It's been the fifth time.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and my dad. You've met him a bunch,
I have. Yeah.
and he he's a dirty doper. He likes to, he's a smoker, and so he's smoking just blowing joints the whole time he was there. He smoked like 20 of them, and
Before he came in the house, it just
yeah, yeah,
fresh
and
air.
so he met like our neighbor lady and a neighbor across the street, and she's really nice. She's one of my favorite people, and she saw that my dad left the next day, so she's just like, "Your dad left, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." She goes, "Old hippie, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I mean, so are you, but so it's fine.
He never made it to Woodstock, but he's an old hippie, all right.
He definitely is. He definitely is. But yeah, Dad came and went. Um, how are you? How was your week?
No, it was good, man. Jesse, Joey, they all came up to visit on Tuesday, and we went to or Monday. They came up on Monday, but in any case, we went up to was it Wild Waves or some shit up in Washington? It's a water park, amusement park. Drove 3 hours up there and got to the gate, and she's like, "Are you with this company's party?" I'm like, "Nope, just here to spend too much money on a small park."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, this is a private event." I'm like, you shitting me?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "On the website it says you're open." She's like, "We are open for a private event." And I was like,
So
"Gotcha."
someone bought the whole park out?
Yeah, someone rented the whole amusement park out. A company rented it out for all of its employees, which is awesome. And, I wish I was a part of that, but I just don't want to be a housekeeper anymore. So,
Yeah.
whatever.
What?
Um,
That's crazy. So you got all the way up there. So
all the
where,
seriously, huh? It's
where is it again?
Tacoma,
Tacoma.
Washington.
Mhm.
That's like seriously 2.5, 3 hour drive. It's significant. Um, but if we got up there and then I was looking for other shit to do, like the turn and pivot. But I mean, Joey's like 14 months old.
Mhm.
It's you can't just do whatever the hell you want. Um, so we were
Yeah.
looking at ball games and it just nothing worked out. So I was like, all right, the hell with it. We're gonna go to the Portland Zoo. So long story short, it took us 6 hours to get to the Portland Zoo, which is only 10 minutes from my house. It's kind of crazy. I was like, son of a bitch. We could have just watched cartoons and stuff and gone to the zoo. Shit, 6 hours just right out the damn window. Oh well. Oh my god. It's only gas is only $17 a gallon, so I got a bargain on that. But Jesus Christ.
Well, but at least you and Jesse are the only people who are going to remember that big waste of time. Joey won't remember
Oh yeah.
it.
No, Reese was there too. All the adults will remember. Joey won't, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All the
But
adults.
I just got to give a plug to the Portland Zoo. Nice zoo. I've been there before many times, but it looks good. It's
Hmm.
okay. Way to go. Keep going. Don't stop now. But nice little zoo there. Have to take myself back. I might hold my own hand and just go alone. It's pretty special.
Just holding your own hand like this and
Just
walking.
yeah, and just say hi. Just walk like this, and just be like, "Hi, how are you?" Little self love, taking myself out on a date. But no,
Uh,
it's yeah. I dig the zoo. I like how in the beginning, like most zoos, you just walk in and then there's an exhibit, whatever. There's an animal scratching its ass. But this one you like go down into the woods, back and forth a little bit. Then you end up down in the go in the in the
yeah,
trees and shit where the bears are. I like that a lot. I think it's a fancy little establishment. They should keep it up.
yeah. It's a they have it's a really good zoo, and like you said, it's none of the animals look like they're not having a good time. I mean, they're no animal in a zoo, in my opinion, is really I think
No,
having
no one. They're all napping or just over it. But yeah.
yeah, but it's for what it is. You know, it's a really good prison. It's one of the nice ones. You know.
Well, it is, but it's also like I had a hard time walking through it at one point. Not a hard time, but I just couldn't stop thinking about this one fact that they found someone dead in an animal cage during after a Charles Bradley concert because they put shows on there. I think it was Charles Bradley.
At the Portland Zoo?
Yeah, you can look it
Whoa.
up. I might not have all the facts right, but someone definitely died after a concert at the zoo near an animal pen. That's facts. The rest of it I'm just filling in with crayons, but those are
I
facts.
wonder. So, what was it in? Do you know if the person was in that like animal pen, or was it like
I think it was near it.
near it?
It
Okay.
sounds like it's like an older gentleman was probably got lost walking around and maybe died of a heart attack near an animal, not in an animal enclosure,
Man,
near one.
man, they should have. What a waste of food for a lion, you know? I mean, he's already dead. I mean,
No, sorry, my bad. It's right here. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't Charles Bradley. It was the Parliament Funkadelic. Um, family of man who mysteriously died after concert sues Oregon Zoo. Um, the family of man who was found dead after a concert at the Oregon Zoo in August is suing the alleged zoo, a contracting company in the music group he went to watch that he did not maintain safe conditions and ultimately caused the man's death. Um, so yeah, long story short, somebody died at the zoo and they're trying to sue him, the company, or they did, yeah. But anyway, so walking around there, I'm just like, where did he die? You know, like,
where did
like
he die?
standing. I don't know. I just kind of like that's standing on a chalk line. Am I?
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't
You just look down, you're standing on the on an X that says
know. Right. Here lies Larry Lou. Like, no, I'm out of here. Fuck this shit. I'm not
Larry
standing there.
Larry and Lou. What a what a name. Larry
Thanks,
Lou.
man. It's
Larry Lou.
early. My brain's still firing up, you know?
Wow. Yeah, we should point that out. It's pretty early. We for some reason somebody's idea. I won't say it was me. It was definitely not me. Had the idea. Hey, let's do it really early. I'm over here scrambling to take a shower and get a cup of.
Shower?
I don't have pants on. I'm in my underwear right now.
Ew.
I am. What? Like it's. I mean,
Oh
these
man.
boxer briefs, they're just shorts, like it's fine.
I'm having pictures of what's that clown's name from Devil's Rejects? Captain Spaulding in his underpants.
Oh yeah.
Bad dream, baby. 50-50.
50-50. So that's well, I mean, that's I love it when you come over and we do do the podcast here, but you know,
Right.
I'm in my underwear. It's nice.
That's why I'm not coming over. Put some pants on for Christ's sakes.
No way.
What the fuck else did we do? Oh, I have a couple of fun stories real quick.
Oh,
You
yeah.
might enjoy. So right after I left your establishment last week,
Mm-hmm.
I went back to the Mac station and I get back to the Mac station and there's a bunch of people standing here on the bus stop. There's like cops and transit police everywhere. But because it's Portland, nobody stopped me. So I just kept walking. I walked right down to the Max platform, like went to get on the train, like a
Yeah.
fucking idiot. Everyone else is leaving, like everyone's getting off the train. I'm like, doot, 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 doot. I'm like, I go up, I'm like, so can I get on? And they're like, oh no, there was a really bad accident right up the tracks here. Like it's a total mess. Like we can't tell you what happened, but it was bad. I'm like, all right, so somebody died. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're like, I was like, so what do I do? They're like, oh yeah, go stand over there with all those people and get on a bus. I'm like, uh, what now? Is that a bus? What's a bus?
What?
Huh? What's that? They're like, yeah, you're gonna go ahead and get on that bus. It's gonna take you down to the Rose Quarter or whatever, and then you can get on the train there. And so holy shit. I'm high as eagle tits, as you would say. I got on that fucking bus. I was like, God damn it. This is nothing I ever wanted. I seriously feel like they welded 3 used dumpsters together and just fucking put a lid on it and a driver behind a steering wheel. And that was the bus, man. It was just riding in a fucking trash can. It was gross. And that was before the people got on. Just the bus itself was disgusting. And then
Yeah.
all the creatures got on. And I was just like, this is bad, bad, bad. And this woman's in front of us, and she's like, I got to get to my boyfriend. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. But she has it pulled up on her phone how long it's going to take us to get there. So
Uh,
I'm like, unavoidingly watching. It's a 30-minute ride. 30
yeah.
minutes. I could have just walked down the interstate. I mean, seriously, I could have gotten there. It's like 5 blocks. So we're riding on this bus and it's getting worse as more people get on. It's packed. I got 7 different crotches in my face because I'm sitting down.
It's lovely, isn't it?
And then we get stopped, and this is the most Portland thing ever. We're stopped at this red light for like 15 minutes. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because the naked bike ride. Jesus
Oh yeah.
Christ. But,
Yep.
people aren't really naked. There's like 1 naked person for every 50 clothed people, which makes me wonder how the naked person feels, aside from really high.
Well,
But yeah, got to watch that.
Yeah.
And
Um.
then we get down to the Max station, they drop us all off, and we're there for about a half an hour because here's the part that doesn't make any sense. The train that's gonna take us where we need to go, or anyone to the west side, is still back there, sitting on somebody's corpse, I guess, or whatever the hell happened. So, after they clean the blood off or whatever the fuck. So we're waiting for this train to make its way through, and shit just falls apart. Like the whole world just crumbles right there at the goddamn train station. It was terrible. Like I saw two women who never met each other before meet, pulled out a mirror, put some powder on it, and just right. I was like, holy shit, this is great. Great, this is great. I saw a guy with a taser tase himself. He was just like,
What?
he just hit himself in the neck.
Really?
Yes. So he was really like, he was twacked out, and he was just like, I got this. I got this. Like, ah. It's like, what the fuck? And I never moved my
Oh,
feet. I stayed where I was. It's not like I was looking for this shit. This shit was
yeah.
happening in front of me.
I want. Okay. So did it look like he did it on purpose, or he was going crazy and did it on accident?
No. He was just like, he was just standing there and he was like, everybody stay away from me. Stay away from me. I got this. I was like, whoa. And then another guy comes by and he's like, don't use that. I got a blowtorch. Come with me. Like he's like, then they walk away with a blowtorch. I was like, I should really follow them, but I'm gonna make sure this train gets here and I get on it. So I didn't follow.
Man,
I didn't leave. I didn't.
I really wish I was with you and not at work. That sounds
I'm
hilarious.
telling you, man, it's so crazy. It's like, Tony's gonna go home. He's just gonna sit there and watch Scooby Doo. Nope. Tony didn't go home till like 1 a.m. It's like a fucking long night, man.
Aren't you glad you moved to Portland?
This is fantastic. I can't wait. What's next?
Yeah. In a couple of years, you'll be the lunatic.
So wait, the fun's not over. So that was that night. But then the second day that Jesse and Joey, all of them were here on Wednesday, we wanted to go to the, I almost called it the zoo again. It's like a zoo. We went to the mall, Clackamas Town Center, right?
Oh,
They have a Dave and Buster's there, by the way. So if those of you who are local, they didn't have that before. So now they have a Dave and Buster's. That's a fun
cool.
thing to do. So anyway, we all went and played games. That was a good time. But we're in the mall and there's this jewelry store where all the girls go, like just it's a like it must be like a bunch of costume jewelry, silly shit that teenage girls are into. So there's all these girls in there already. We're walking by the store, and this group of girls are in front of us going into this store, a group of 4 girls. And it's just we watch them walk to the front into the store where there's a bunch of rings, like right at the front. And you could just look at them, take like mood rings or whatever kind of groovy shit. These girls, there's already girls looking at these rings, going through them. These next 4 girls join them, go in between them, grab shit, like just grabbing things that were in other people's hands, just grabbing shit, put them in their pockets. And like, it was so fast. It was like, pop, 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 pop. Just grab shit while they're still in front of us. We didn't stop. They just did it and walked in front of us. And we're watching them pull like stickers off of it and put them in their pockets and walk into Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm like, well, obviously they're stealing shit because they just went from jewelry to sporting goods. And women don't do that unless they're with their husband. So this makes no sense. They're thieves. And so they're just like, it was just crazy. It was just like, all right, that was so fast. It was amazing. And I was like, that's cocky even, to be like,
did they get caught?
No, of course not. But if you can, this is a true story. This all happened. So that part happened. Then we went to Dave and Buster's. Then we come back into the mall to leave. And it was almost like a story of what could happen to you if you don't stop stealing. So we're walking away near the bathroom, and the security guard, he grabs his radio, right? He's in front of us, and he says, I got her. She's right in front of me. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead and call the police department. And we're like, hang on a second. What's happening? So then we see this woman, like she's 60 years old, mostly gray hair, little thing, 60 to 90 pounds, whatever the hell it was. And, she's like, she's got her purse, and she comes around the corner from the bathrooms, and she's like, I didn't do nothing. It was like, oh, she's guilty. Why are you following me? I didn't do nothing. And he's like, it's in your bag. I saw you steal everything. He's like, I got her coming out of the bathroom. She's going this way now, but he's a big guy and she's a seasoned thief. This is
Yeah.
what happens 50 years later to those girls who keep stealing. So they disappear. We're on the bottom floor. They disappear. Okay, no, we're done. We're like, well, that was fucking crazy. So we're out now. We're upstairs. We're out. We're leaving the movie theater area. We're going towards our car. And I look behind us, and here's this same security guy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and I said, why the fuck is he following us? I'm like, we didn't do anything. We were there.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, I can't make this up. We are just walking. We're like 30 feet away from the curb. And that same woman pops right out of the bushes. I am not making this up. Like, bing, out of the Jack in the Box. Just he's coming. They don't see each other yet. She jumps out of the bushes. Here comes a black pickup truck. I'm not making this shit up. And she's like, and he rolls up in the pickup truck, comes to the stop sign, and she just starts running, like shit a flying. She's running. She's like, just go, man, just fucking go, just go, go, go. I'm like, no, this isn't happening. This isn't happening. She's running and running and running. She rips the door open, gets in there. He slams on the fucking gas on the Z71. They are gone. And Fatty's holding onto his belt. And we're like, there she is. She's right there. And he can't get it. And we're like reading off the tag number. We're like, XZY1781. Did you get it? Did you get it? And they just fucking tear off down the street. And I was just like, way to go, Portland. Fucking A.
Wow. Man, that's pretty cool.
That was great. This place is it's so wonderful. I know it's expensive. The gas is ridiculous. There's nowhere to live that's affordable, but I'm telling you, the stories, woo, worth the money. Oh my God.
Wow.
8 years in Philly, and I have a few stories, but this shit is stacking up too fast.
I know, like you've barely been here a month, right? Like,
oh my God, it's amazing. It's so bad here.
yeah. It's so bad here. It's so bad here.
This place is fucked.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
oh
man.
my God. Let's decriminalize drugs and let everyone do whatever they want and see what happens. Okay. Fucking moron.
Dude, it's crazy.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Even
man.
New Jersey knows not to decriminalize drugs, and they're the definition of dumb. It's in the dictionary.
Yeah.
They know better than that.
I don't know what I'll be honest with you. No, that wasn't a good idea. We shouldn't have voted on that.
Those mall security guards are going to lose weight. They keep running after these skinny little thieves. I'm telling you. Holy shit.
Dude,
Go.
So this last night, I had to ask somebody at my work, not somebody, but like 5 people, because you've been to my work. It could get a little, hey,
Well, I mean, seriously, it's great on the inside, but if you go outside, it's like stepping into another fucking dimension.
It's just it's next to the max.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an overpass, and there's like a kind of a hill that has like a bunch of like bushes and shit, and then down is like not like where like the choo-choo train is, not the city train, but the choo-choo
yes,
train.
yes,
Yeah. So down there. So like it brings a lot of characters around. And we always got to clean up after people that like kind of like camp out and hang out against the building, and I'm not against that. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but like I got to clean up a bunch of crap that people, and sometimes literally crap.
Ew.
It's bad sometimes, and so I just have gotten into a habit of nicely asking people to leave, be like, hey, like last night there was about 5 or 6 people posted up next to the dumpster and they were leaning against the wall, and they were actually they were nice. They were just quietly using drugs.
Don't miss that vein. Excuse
Yeah.
me. Could you do that somewhere else?
And so I was just like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry, I know I got a camouflage hat on and a weird, shitty beard. I don't want to be a cop. I don't want to be a dick, but I gotta ask you guys to leave." And they were like, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine." And it was so weird to have like an actual, real, kind of halfway intelligent conversation and peaceful conversation with people that are holding syringes. It was wild. Like they had they had their fucking plungers and like burnt tinfoil. But they were like, "Oh yeah, like like talking to me with burnt tinfoil in their hand. Oh yeah, we'll get going, no problem." And I'm like, what the fuck?
Let me just finish up real quick.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then like and then the like one guy, I think he was their leader. He's he had the biggest growth on his face out of all of them. Yeah, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, we'll be out of here right quick. Thanks for being nice to us."
Thanks for being nice to us. I came here from Wisconsin for this experience.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
they were nice.
Portland, some of the nicest drug addicts you'll ever meet.
Uh-huh.
They should have someone smiling like this, but their teeth are missing. Like,
yeah, exactly. But it like in the picture, it still has that like ding, that like.
Oh yeah,
Colgate
smile.
There's no teeth, but it's still.
They call me Gummy.
Hey, Gummers.
This place is great. We should have named this show Portland. The same thing.
Portland's a hoot, man. Let me tell you.
This is the future. Portland edition. Oh, this place is great.
Yeah. So, Tony here came to my work the other last week because we were running a cheesesteak, a Philly cheesesteak special, and we did it last night again too. But, yeah, I told Tony, I was like, "Hey, if you're hungry and you want to come play pinball, come on down." And you showed up high as eagle tits. And you left, and all my coworkers were like, "So he smokes weed, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, a little bit." Because
what do I do? Walk in smelling like the bag or something? I smoke.
no, I mean, hey man,
what? I look like that all the time.
you look great. Yeah, you're just high.
Yeah. The fuck? I'm not high now, but I mean, the windows are so close together, who can tell anymore? I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. It doesn't matter.
Well, because at my work they play like there's always something weird on the TV, like it's from like this like The Simpsons to like some weird fucking video of someone just walking around in Germany or something, like just like a weird video that doesn't make any sense. There's always weird shit going on the TV. And what was playing was the movie Black Sheep, but not the movie Black Sheep with Chris Farley and David.
No, not a comedy.
Well, it's supposed to be kind of like a horror movie spoof comedy kind of. And what it's about is like in England, I think. It was my movie. I lent them to put the rip onto the hard drive to put on the TV. I have it downstairs, but I think they're in Scotland or something like that, and they're in like it's like a farm, and like someone gets bit by like a zombie sheep or whatever, and then it's turning into like a sheep, and it's pretty wild. And I'm standing there by the kitchen, and I'm watching you from afar, like 40 feet away, and you're like eating the sandwich and you're looking at the TV and you're like, and it was funny to watch you without any sound on, like I can't hear you probably going, "What the fuck?"
Well, I mean, from my perspective, I'm eating this seriously a really tasty sandwich, and then is that the owner that comes to the TV?
The what?
Is that the owner, the one that changed the channel?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, so it's somebody I don't know what's going on, so I'm very observant, ADD all the time. So I'm eating my sandwich and watching everything in there, and he comes up to change it to put something else on. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what he's gonna put on. So he goes through like 5 minutes of trying to dig whatever he's trying to dig up, but I'm like, oh, it must be fucking good, whatever it is. So these friends of his sit down and they're all like sitting there and they're watching. There's no volume. There's awesome music in the background. There's no volume. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right. So I'm eating my sandwich, which has tons of meat in it. It's delicious. And then all of a sudden, the goddamn sheep starts biting someone's neck off. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm eating a sandwich. Why'd you put that on? The subtitles, I can't read anything. This is what we're eating to right now. I was like, okay. And then I looked over and it's on the other TV. And I'm like, I can't get away from this shit.
It won't. Yeah, there's too many TVs in there for you to get away from it.
In all fairness, if I was sober and that was on, I'd still be like, what the fuck?
It's a good movie, man. You gotta watch it. I'll loan it to you. It's great.
So my eyes were a little more closed than usual, whatever. But yeah, I still I played a fuck ton of pinball once I found out where to put my backpack. I was like,
Yeah.
where do I you have a coat room? Like this,
Yeah, goat
I don't want to
room.
play
Yeah.
video games with a backpack on. I don't want to be that guy, you know? Like, my
You're
mom gave me $1 and dropped me off for the parking ride. Like, no.
Yeah, we're a very fancy establishment, Tony. We have a coat room.
All right,
Yeah.
well, just somewhere so I don't have to walk around with a backpack on looking like I'm 16. But I needed my backpack because that's where you keep. I mean, what I did, people, just so you know, is I live on the other side of the city, which Alex and I are about 30 minutes apart, regardless of what type of transportation you use,
Yeah.
unless it's a submarine.
Eh,
Um, in any case, so I decided after work I would take the choo-choo train over to the Max station near his work, and then go to the gym. There's a gym right there, super fucking convenient. And so then like I had my gym shit on me, I had my dope on me, I had it all. I was all set up and ready to go. But the funny thing is I'm walking from the gym to Alex's place. You can go under an overpass, and under there, you could tell people like there's some encampments, but no one was really there. And I was like, this is a good place for me just to walk and load my bowl real
mhm.
quick. Just load my bowl. So I'm just walking, and I'm like, and there's like I'm trying to like be quick about it. It's still daylight, and I'm under the bridge. I'm right next to this, encampment thing. And here comes this nice van full of tourists, like kids and shit. And here I am hitting this glass pipe, like they're just. I'm like Portland, and like
Yeah.
here I am talking shit about it. And I'm just like another asshole with a torch, like
Yeah,
smoking drugs under a bridge.
yeah, but yeah, you're not, you're smoking,
Yeah, the lighter's on the top, it's
smoking
not on the
crack.
bottom, that's the difference.
Yeah.
If you see the lighter on the bottom, stay the fuck away from them.
Yeah,
If it's on
exactly.
top, you can probably ask for directions, they just won't know where they are. But,
Yeah, they'll just be the wrong directions. That's all.
right, I don't know, man, let me ask Google. That's how I survive when I'm high, Google. No, it was a great time. I decided to leave the house, and that's what happened. It's fucking crazy. Goddamn bus ride. That scared me. I was like, I was like, I could call Alex, but I'm not gonna put him through that. I was like, let's just see how this goes.
So
And boy,
what?
did it go.
What time did you get home?
Seriously, like 1 in the morning, and I left your place around 10.
Like we we got home at the same time.
Yeah, but you probably swung by the bar.
I don't remember.
I'm sure there was a drink involved.
um, no,
No?
no, I don't know if I did or not. It's hard to say.
No, maybe.
Well, because I go and see my friend who works at a bar next to my house like
Right.
once, twice a week. I don't go every night, but I like to, sit down and have a drink before I go home. And yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe.
Well, I wish your eyes got small when you were drunk. There we go.
They do that.
You're swimming.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It's good, isn't it? It's good. Well, I think it's almost time to talk about music, eh?
Yeah. I did want to talk about the submarine, but we'll save that for next week. I've been
We
doing a lot
could
of
talk
research.
about it. I
No,
mean,
it's just it's not I don't really have a punchline or anything, but I just think it's kind of like the rest of us poor folk. It's kind of like you know, that's all I have to say about that. It sucks, but
I
because poor
mean,
people don't do that shit. Like, let's build a big soda can and go to the bottom of the ocean. No, dummy.
well, do you remember who told us about that?
Mm-mm.
The lady at the pot store.
She told us about the sub.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
she did mention. Oh, that yeah. The girl from Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. She's like, I moved here from Nebraska. I'm like, okay, you made it, whatever. But she was talking about the sub. But I don't know. It's kind of fun watching it unfold. Like it's just pretty. Now we all know what it looks like to be imploded. That just sucks. Wow, what a shitty way to go to be a billionaire and die that way. Shit, man, I'd rather be set on fire. At least you're warm. Like fuck.
I like what did you see what James Cameron said?
But they
The
were well. He said a couple of things, but what stood out to you?
Well, he did it a couple of years ago. He
Right.
did something like, and he was just like when he found out like, oh, we can't find it. We found their Xbox controller, but and he just goes,
PlayStation.
oh yeah, they're dead. They're dead.
Right.
Like he's just like matter of fact about it. Like, oh yeah, they're dead. Mm-hmm,
Well,
sure.
he's right. He's just like it made it sound like we knew that chucklehead wasn't going to survive, but we didn't think anybody was actually going to go with him. That's essentially like how he put it. Like we knew his sub was fucked. Like,
Yeah.
and he's even like the guy who did it, Mr. Rush or whatever his name is. He's like who died died in his own ship with other people. He's just like you got to take chances. Safety's bullshit. I'm like, okay, Evil Knievel. Like,
Yeah.
except Evil Knievel did it alone. Okay, he didn't
Yeah.
have a couple of people join him and freeze to death in a fucking tube and then boom. And the worst, the sickiest part is they're like, we found what's believed to be human remains. Believed to be. That means looks like fucking dog food. Maybe a t-shirt. Like, oh god damn.
I just
Woo!
think it's just so fucking ironic that like they went to go see the Titanic
To see dead people.
that sank with a bunch of rich people on it,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of rich people died seeing a bunch of rich people.
Yeah. Isn't that great? Well, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, not to get like real heavy, but a lot of the rich people made it off the boat. They went to see a bunch of poor people who didn't make it. So the poor people are like, no, you'll stay down here. Stay. You're
Yeah.
fucking dying.
Yes, that's true.
You got to have a sick sense of humor to laugh at this show, folks. But I'm sorry. I think it's pretty damn funny when the rich are like, we can do whatever we want. Like, yeah, including dying in a really gnarly way. I'm
Yeah.
sure you would not as no one would sign up to spend any amount of money to die like that. Like that's gross. Even prisoners don't die like that.
Right.
It's tough stuff.
There's just some things you don't need to do, no matter how much money you have in life. There's just some things that we as people aren't meant to go. We're not like
Right.
we push it by being in an airplane.
Oh yeah, it's amazing that I mean, yeah. And then you have Spirit Airlines, which is essentially the same thing as the submarine.
Oh,
Shittiest fucking construction ever.
I take Spirit and Frontier almost every time I fly.
Shit. What's it like to being in a flying Walmart? My God.
Oh, it's great.
Fucking terrible.
Frontier,
It's like Springer in air.
Frontier isn't that bad, but I mean it's not great, but it's not as bad as Spirit.
Yeah, Spirit is rough stuff. It's literally like Anyway, I want to. It's rough. But and to not be insensitive, I do think it's a shame that that people perished. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, us poor folk would never be able to experience something like that. Us poor folk will probably never get to experience even seeing the Earth from the space station. Like anything, I really would like before I died. It'd be nice just to see that view of our
Mhm.
planet. Not gonna fucking happen. And now everyone's looking at those people like, "Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you assholes charging a lot of money to go out to space? Yeah, we're questioning you too now." But what's funny is it's the rich people that are like, "Well, wait a minute. I think I want to cancel my ticket because it's not me. I don't have a fucking ticket. No one's offering me one. There's no BOGO to go to space or anywhere off this planet. We're deep into this planet. Us poor folk aren't doing this shit. We're gonna get hit by a bus in the middle of the night on a naked bike ride or some shit. We're not gonna fucking go down and imploding or getting all the oxygen sucked out of our body in space. It's not gonna happen. So, rich folks, pull out your boarding passes. I want to see how it goes for you. Every
Yeah.
time rich people go somewhere with that we can't go, I'm always like, all right.
Yeah. Let's watch the fun. Yeah.
Well, all the people who didn't ride, who didn't go on the boat in the sub that were supposed to, are like, woo.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like, oh man, I'm glad I was late today.
It's horrible. No matter how much money you have, you don't get to escape that guilt. Like the one woman was supposed to go with her husband instead of her son, and her son went and didn't want to go, but he said, "Fuck it, it's Father's Day, I'll go."
Oh,
And now the
really?
woman's alive, they're gone, and she's rich, but she'll never get over that fucking pain. So no matter how much fucking money you have, you still get to feel like shit, just like everyone else.
Yep.
There it is, folks. So I feel bad for those people. Sorry it happened. But at the same time, when you're loaded, we're all going to make fun of you. That's all there is to it. We're going to make it's how we handle it.
Mhm.
We're poor.
I mean
So
that, yeah,
fuck it. We're
I mean
suffering and you have money to do this. Fuck off.
that's just how it is.
That's
Like I
why we're
think
laughing. It's the
it's
only thing we get to do.
it's the trade-off when you have that much money, you know?
Right. They don't usually embarrass themselves. Well, actually they do, but they kind of hide it with the media because they own the media, but they couldn't hide this one.
Right.
So pretty fucking, it's kind of like, oh, sorry. Like, oh well. But yeah, so that happened. It was a fun last couple of days. If you all have any opinions about any of that, you can share them with us and email us, send us a link, whatever, if you want to keep the conversation going. But it's time for music.
Music.
Back.
Yeah, we listened to Larry and his Flask and their album from 2013 by the Lamplight.
That's right. It's Pandemonium. Shit sounds great. One of them fellas can sing.
Yeah.
I we Alex knows them. Well, we know them personally. Alex is really good friends with those fellas. I don't know them that well. They didn't hang out with like when they were creating the music. So when I heard the album, like I was like, who the fuck? I know them, but I'm like, who's singing? Like, because if you look them up on Spotify, somebody in the band didn't bother to write a fucking bio. So, I'm available.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, like I know more about. There's nothing written here.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah. There's
the
a lot.
singing's
There's a
great.
you go on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, and you look up a band and you want to know about them. They did it. There's sometimes even famous bands like big bands don't
They're
have
like,
bios. It's weird. It's like I don't fucking Google it. I don't fuck it. You
no,
know.
it doesn't. It was just I was just trying to figure. I'm like, well, who's on vocals and like, because so yeah. I don't. All I know is they really, honestly, they sound great. And by the end of the album, I had a ton of appreciation for their musicianship, because every instrument that has been invented, I'm pretty sure, in some way, sounds like it's on that album and played really well.
Mhm.
But it's just the vocals. Are there different? Are the fellas switching off on vocals on different songs or no?
Well, there's one main like lead singer, Ian Cook,
Ah, okay, gotcha.
and he's like the primary singer, but like they all like do like harmony and like backup like vocals, all of them. But there's like there was two people that did the like the majority of like backup vocals and like that
Yeah.
kind of shit. Yeah. So, but like Andrew, the banjo player. He did a lot of backup vocals, and he has a couple songs where he just sings. But I think that their strong one of their strong suits has always been, and it started to shine through on this album, the like harmonizing with each other.
Yes.
Like I've seen them just, beat up from being on the road and, partying and drinking a lot and shit like that. And then still being able to like like being like tune and pitch with each other. Still after just like, drinking like gallons of booze.
Right. No,
And they're still able to just sound basically exactly the way the album sounds. Like,
yep. I mean, I've
so
seen him live, but I was always fucked up and don't remember who was singing. That's why I'm like, I've seen him and I don't remember, but
well, and there's
different when you hear it.
there's a lot of them on stage. There was either like 5 to 6, sometimes 7 people on stage.
Right.
So it might be kind of hard to tell.
All right. Well, then, thanks for the pass on that one. But I was just like, I was the whole week and a half I was listening to this. I'm like, God damn it, who is who?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
seriously, they sound great. Like, I'm just like, shit. Like, I don't know. Like, bear with me here. And I know I'm a nut job, but what's that fucking the Oh brother, where art thou?
That movie, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, there's just a flash of that. It was like sometimes when I close my eyes and I see that music, I just see them all wearing suspenders, you know?
Yeah.
I am a man. I was like, this is them, this is them. I was like,
Yeah.
just like
They're
this
all wearing.
picture, like Grant. I mean, these guys, like, they honestly, I'm like, seriously, Larry and his Flask are the album's fucking great. It's like, yeah, and pass this out a few more times. Let a few more people hear this shit. Like, they definitely need to hear this in certain places, but um, yeah, it's just they're unique. Like really a very unique, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I just whatever comes across my plate, but they're different from a lot of the stuff that I listen to, but they also fit in. But
Mhm.
they're I think you could close your eyes, spin around in circles, and turn this on and still know who it is. Very
Right.
distinct.
Hmm. Mhm.
And I like that, man. It's awesome. If you played that shit for me, I know exactly who it was every time.
Right. Well,
That's saying something.
they fall into that category of like, folk punk and stuff, but they're unique in the way of like their vocals and their I don't know if you like they a lot of the members like were in other bands like metal bands and stuff,
Yeah,
especially Ian and Andrew, and like so they have like their picking ability and their playing ability. Like when you listen to like Andrew like do solos and scales on a banjo, which you don't usually traditional banjo players don't do,
right,
like doing like metal guitar sweeps and like like
right.
and like some of the other members like Jamin and Jesse, they have their background of playing music is like punk music, and that shows of like the live shows like those two are really energetic and like going crazy with the crowd. I've
Right.
seen, I've
Yeah.
seen back when Jamin used to drink, he would jump off the stage, crowd surf to the bar. The bartender would hand him a beer and he would drink it, being crowd surfed back to the stage. They all the way there and all the way back. Like,
I've seen that and I've seen that live. Like it's their live show's amazing, but you wouldn't expect them to listening to the music. I don't know if you'd expect such a rowdy live show.
right. And that's, like that was their strengths of being like very technical music wise, and then also being putting on like a fuck of a show, just crazy. Like
Right.
they could get people that don't normally dance at shows, people that will just lean against the wall and enjoy it that way. They could get the people somehow to just get up off their feet and dance.
Right. That's yeah, that I haven't seen a band like that since the OCs. Those are one of the last bands that'll make the whole damn room move. If you've
Mhm.
got that power in this modern age when people would rather just film your ass instead of get into the music, then you're
Yeah.
doing something right. because it's hard as shit now. People are like, "This is cool. Let me film the whole show." Like, it's on the internet already. Why are you
Yeah,
hating?
yeah.
But yeah, no. Let me see here. The one thing that I really like in the beginning of the album, like it's more it's definitely it's got a good like rock and roll. It's a good album because it has a good flow to it. There's high songs, there's ups and downs, but at the end, this just takes off like a fucking rocket at the end. Like the playing is just like this is a jam. These are jams on the end. Like they're
Mhm.
playing their fucking ass off. They're like I was kind of like taken aback. I mean, I really never, I'm be honest with you, I never really sat down and listened to him this.
Mhm.
And I was just like, fuck. It's like I've been hanging out with these guys. I give them a lot more respect. I'm like, God damn. Like, I mean, I wouldn't like embarrass them, but just like, hey, look at this thumb. You earned that thumb. Good job.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
They're
To come from punk and metal and then somehow put all this together and be like, we're gonna all get together, different backgrounds, and sound like this. Like none of us sound like this now. We're all gonna do that.
Mhm.
It's like, man, I remember when they won the battle of the band. I think didn't they win the battle of the bands in Bend? We were all living in town when they did that.
I don't know.
They
I don't
competed.
remember.
We were all in town when they were coming up through,
Mhm.
when they were coming on the scene. And I remember when they got picked up, then they got to tour with you remember who they tour with out of
They've
Bend?
it's hard for me to remember the
Sorry.
exact time, but like they've toured with Flogging Molly,
The other one.
Dropkick Murphys.
Thank you. That's them. Them.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. It was a big deal in Bend. They were in the paper because they opened for the Dropkick Murphys, and the Dropkick Murphys said, "You guys should tour with us." And it was one of those things in Bend. It was like, holy shit, that's a rock and roll dream, right? Like you get to open for a big ass band because you're the local band, and you got thrown on last minute, blew the fucking crowd away, blew the band away. You got picked up, put on the road. Of course, Larry and his Flash didn't become millionaires or anything, but they got noticed that way, and it was really fun to know the band when that happened.
Mhm.
So I just thought it was fun to be in town and live and being a part of that history and being able to go to some of those shows when they happened. But Jesus, the music is just the playing. I want to go see them now. I'm like, what are you guys up to? Like, I know you were all spread out and not, but when you are,
Well, unfortunately, I don't think they'll never
no.
be a band again. So,
Oh
but
well, shit. Well,
unfortunately, but
for
that's
all
just
that though, great fucking music.
yeah.
Just great album.
Um, I
Oh
went on. I don't know if it was the tour you're talking about, but I did go on a Dropkick Murphys tour with them.
yeah.
I don't know if it was
Oh,
them,
oh, oh no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
but I did go on. They toured with Dropkick a few different times,
Hmm.
and I went on one of them with them a while ago. I don't even remember when it was.
Was
To be
that the
honest.
one that you landed in Jersey?
No, that was what long that was before I was even doing stand up, I'm sure.
Oh, you went along as like road crew, huh?
Yeah, I just was there. Like I've been on a few tours with them, probably like I don't know, 3 or 4 tours. I used to and just like go on the road with them a couple of times, like when they would just go to like California and back, or do shows around Washington or whatever.
Yeah,
But
you went down to punk rock bowling.
yeah,
Yeah,
been the rock
awesome.
bowling with them. That was fun. They well, a lot of people don't know. We'll get into the album itself, but like they were like a punk, like just a like kind of a more traditional punk band, like before they started doing the folk punk stuff. And it was they started it was like a long time ago. And it was just the two brothers and then some random guy on the guitar. And I think Jamin would play the drums and sing. And then that guy left, and then they had like our friend Greg, he played guitar, and then Ian came and he played guitar, and then another guy who's a good, an old friend, he played drums, and then that's when they really started to get like take off, is like when Jamin was just the front man, and they put on crazy live shows. Like Jamin used to have this old shotgun that he converted into a microphone. So it was like a shotgun that didn't work anymore, wasn't loaded or anything. And he like it was able to like install like a microphone into the barrel, and he would sit and hold this big shotgun, you know, like a 12 gauge, and he would sing out of it, and like it was fucking awesome. It was,
I like how
um,
these guys think.
yeah, their live shows like back in the day were just as crazy as their live shows when a couple of years ago, and that was those were like in the more like punk days. So there was like an inch or two of beer, standing beer on the floor, like just
Right.
like real rowdy stuff, real good times. And then the drummer Bo left the band, and then that's kind of when they became did the stuff that you could hear, like this album. But they're an awesome band, man. They're great people. I love them all, and this album is one of their best. They have great albums, all of them, and this one is definitely one of my favorites. That's why I picked it. And they don't play anymore, and I just really want people to hear them because they're great musicians, and a lot of them are doing other bands themselves and they're just doing cool stuff in their own lives. So, but this album is great, and I gotta say, standout songs for me would be Pandemonium, the first track, um, Tides, and all that we've seen are three of my favorite.
Nice. Um, yeah, it started what's fun with me is every time I listened to the album, I added another one, and then if I had listened to it 10 more times, I probably would've just favorited the whole album, but, um, I clicked on what I like about when I click on these is I click on them because you can just heart the thing while you're in the middle of doing what you're doing. So
Oh
what's
yeah.
cool is, like, even if you're like, you know me, I like to work out and listen to music, that's usually what I'm doing, so I like if you stop in the like right after like you're working out doing a set and you're like, I gotta stop and click on this real quick. Like this is really good. So that's to me that's saying something. But Brandywine Bump,
Oh yeah, that's a really good one too.
The Battle for Clear Sight,
Hmm.
Cruel Twist of Fate, Justice and Justification, All That We've Seen, and Tides.
Hmm.
Those were the ones that like I said, if I kept going, I would have liked the whole album. I mean, but still.
Yeah.
Something hits you in a moment, and, like, every time I listened to the album, a different song would hit me in a different moment. That's fun as hell. I like to play with music like that. I kinda like to take music for a walk, be like if you will, be like, what does it sound like, what does it do here? That kinda thing, like, music
Hmm.
fits in certain places, you know, changes the experience. So
Right.
like, you can sit on a Max and listen to, like, there's some of their slow songs, and the shit fits with the background of the city, and then it could be a little bit more rowdy, and you're seeing a bunch of naked people on a bike while you're sitting on a fucking bus, I mean, it matches. You're like, "This is crazy. I'm gonna park this shit right now because this fits." So, yeah.
Well, what's cool about them is they're able to take instruments that people don't think that could be in this kind of music, fast, kind of punkish music, like the mandolin player, Kurt. Uh he's a really good musician too. He's a great musician. He
Yeah.
plays the
Rock.
man. It's cool. He's a bigger guy. He's like my size, and he he's playing the smallest.
He is, yeah.
It's so funny every time I see it play in my head. I just kind of chuckle because I'm like, that's what I'd look like, bigger kind of guy playing this like the smallest instrument. He's got the biggest fingers out of everyone, but he's playing like the instrument that has the smallest neck and the most strings on it.
Right, right,
you
with
know,
his big old fingers. He
yeah.
gets it.
And he plays really fast. He's the one that's keeping, I know, like kind of keeping like the faster tempo. He like because
You can
he's
hear it.
playing really really fast
Like
and
shredding on a mandolin.
yeah. um and there was they just, yeah, they're all great. There's people, past members I'm leaving out, but like one of the other members that he played the acoustic guitar. Dal, he has a great harmonized voice, able to harmonize great with all the other members. Like he's awesome, and
Yeah.
they're all good. Like every single one of them. Jamin, Jesse, Ian, Andrew, Kurt, Dal.
Well,
All
and
great.
another thing that I want to give credit to is that I didn't grab them all. I have a hard time listening to music and reading lyrics. I try, but um without reading the lyrics, I definitely some good messages in there. Like you could tell like whoever was sitting down, whatever, whoever wrote it, whatever, just has that. It's like looking, it's kind of like sitting down watching the world and writing about what they see. Like they're whoever wrote those lyrics is in tune with society. You know what I mean? Like I like their what they're looking, how they're projecting what they see or whatever. However, I don't know. I'm stumbling on my words here, but I heard some of that shit and I was like, yeah, that's some very thoughtful stuff. Like you're not just throwing shit up against the wall. Like whatever you're writing's coming from the heart.
Mhm.
And I like that a lot. It's really just a pile of like good lyrics, great musicianship, shredding. Like just like, dude, what the fuck? There must be a lot of acts out there to compete with for you guys not to have a little bit more attention than this. But I get it. You got to tour your ass off and get all your
Mhm.
shit stolen 7 times before you can become famous, and that can become fucking exhausting.
Right.
Um, but still, hey, that's there forever. They made that. Those albums are there, regardless of what they're doing now. You can pick that shit up and enjoy it. It's timeless. So,
Mhm.
hey, you created art that's not going to go away. That's awesome. I think a lot of us strive to have something we can leave behind. So, what a great couple things to leave behind.
Oh, absolutely. And if I could just recommend another album that they had, it was
Mhm.
like I think their last album. No, it's not their last album they put out, but it's the album that they toured on. It was their last tour, and I was on that tour. I was opening for them when I was still doing stand up, and it's called This Remedy. It's a great album. It's like more mature. That's how I would put it. Like it sounds more.
Mhm.
It's a really great album, and that's an album I would recommend to people as well.
Cool. Right on. I haven't checked it out, so give me something else to listen to.
Yeah, but
All right.
how would you rate them?
10, just give it a fucking 10. Just
Give them a
call it.
10.
Yeah, of course. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
No reason
Just
not to.
because I'm close with all of them, and just to fuck with them, I'll give them a 9.8.
Fine, whatever. I'm not buttering anyone's bread here. That shit was earned. Like
Yeah,
seriously, great album.
yeah.
We listen to a lot of stuff, but
No,
this ain't no poppies, but pretty fucking good.
no, it's a great album. It's definitely like a two thumbs up album. You should check it out. Even if you're like, man, I hate this kind of music, or I hate, like I don't like the banjo, the banjo, and it's
Yeah,
one of the driving instruments in this band and in this album, and it's fucking awesome. He
yeah,
fuck
they use them in a different way. Take them in a
he
different direction,
he
though. It's yeah.
he shreds on that. He's a great musician, great banjo player. They are all great musicians, and on their own, everybody. They're all really great, and I only have good things to say about all of them. And yeah, I I'm just fucking around. I give them a 10 too, but nice to fuck with them.
That's what we're supposed to do. But
Yeah,
fucking with you. Great. I'll just say one more time. Great album. Great pick. Nice work, fellas. Awesome
yeah.
music.
Well, time for the
Uh,
wheel, huh?
yeah, it's time for the wheel. And so, since it's been 10 days since the last show, and the last episode was roughly 55 minutes, we're giving you a little bit more today. So there you go. Just making up for it. Just go ahead and call that a bonus.
Yeah,
Um,
bonus.
but we're always looking for shit to talk about on the show. So hopefully you felt it was action packed, full of excitement. All right. So in a roundabout way, Alex kind of chose the band for this week. Just because we were riding around in his car last week and doing what we usually do and just going to record stores and shit. And he's just like, "Hey man, have you heard this band? They're called Floor." Like the shit we're all standing on. Yeah, the floor. So I was like, and it does sound good. I've heard a little bit. So then, for some reason, probably because Google's a nosy bastard, I was in or somebody, Spotify, I don't know. The mic's always on. I'm at the gym last night, and I'm not sober, but I'm listening to Big Business, and then right after the Big Business album ended, Floor comes on. And I'm like, okay, that's a sign. Let's listen to Floor. So that's who replaced Larry Flask this week is Floor. So in the number one spot, we still have the Big Lebowski movie. And then in the number two spot, we have Fever Ray, Radical Romantics, their new album. If it lands on 3, Alex has to come up with something clever and really good. Number 4 is Aretha Franklin, Amazing Grace. That one's been on there a minute. Yeah, but anyway, number 5, Hailstorm, Back from the Dead. Number 6, James Carruthers, Relapse. Number 7, I'll come up with some mediocre album. Number 8 is Floor with their album Dove. It was sorry. Actually, ironically enough, Louis C.K.'s album is in the number 9 spot with Sorry. So there you go. Sorry by Louis C.K. number 9. And number 10 is David Bowie with his final album Black Star.
All right.
See where we land.
6.
James Carruthers, Relapse.
James Carruthers.
Yeah, brother. We're gonna listen to some country music.
Is that what he is? He's country?
I think so. He had a cowboy hat on when I saw him.
Well, goddamn it.
Reverend. All right. Well,
all right.
That's it. We're listening to James Carruthers, his album Relapse for the next show. Aim to have that out in about a week or so.
Yeah.
You know, the year's 52 weeks. We go for about 30 episodes. You know, no. But anyway, we do appreciate every time y'all click on one of these and listen to however much of this shit you can handle. So thank you very much. Alex is going to tell you all the good stuff.
If you would like to suggest a album or a movie, as well, please suggest a full album and a band, and you could do that on Instagram, Titfu69, and give us a direct message, or you can go to YouTube, and it's probably the best way. Go on the YouTube, and the most recent episode in the comment section, you could do your suggestion that way. And with that being said, thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.